Howdy, guys, and welcome to DocPod. Today, we're going to talk about stem cells and whether the use should be allowed or not. I imagine that if you're here, it is because you have heard the previous podcast of contraceptive pills, and if not, I recommend you to go ahead and check it out. But now you're here with us, listening to me, Matias. Here we are with Alejandro
Hello.
and Santiago.
I
Okay, so now, what we're here for. Is the use of embryonic stem cells ethical in modern days, considering all the points of view about its extraction? Let's hear it with Alejandro.
Well, in my opinion, use of embryonic stem cells is completely unethical, as it is you're literally killing a baby. So it is just like nonsense to just kill a baby to save a person. It's just like a life or a life, but like you're killing someone. Like there's other ways too.
yes, but you're not killing a life for a life. You're basically killing a non-existing life for the use of like for the ones that don't know, stem cells are like this type of special cells that can develop into many different cell types. So they're useful for helping many different diseases. So and a way of extracting, which is where the controversy comes from, is from a fetus. And well, fetus, as I imagine all of you know, are like non-existing humans. They are premature. They are
Yeah,
non-born yet.
but they have their own DNA, so they're technically considered as human beings.
Okay, I consider both these points really good, but yeah, I think it's correctly to make a pros and cons. First, one really important advantage that I found here is that stem cells actually cure some really deadly diseases. For example, diabetes. Yes, the fact that you have to kill fetuses, it is really controversial as there are many points of view of whether you're killing or not a human being. But let's also consider that by killing this fetus, you're also saving one life. And also, let's just say that killing fetuses is not the only way to extraction. There is also a way, a volunteering way of extracting from bone marrow. That is also one alternative that may cause not to kill so much fetuses.
Yeah, but also the use of stem cells in general also comes with a lot of risks, and the main one being the use of the growth of tumors, as the cells could mutate to form tumors. And also another risk would be the rejection of the stem cells by the immune system, as it has a different DNA, and it would cause a bigger issue than the cost to use a stem cells.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
Alejandro, you mentioned that there are risks for the operation of the stem cells, but aren't there also risks in any other operations? I think that the risk that the stem cells have is not high, and well, if a person's life is in danger, those risks should be taken. And well, you also mentioned that the DNA is different. Well, you can use donations from family members that have similar DNA to yours.
well, yeah. All of these issues are taken in consideration, but like this all belongs to the part of inserting these stem cells. I don't find very problematic the extracting method, but the inserting method can be really problematic. As Alejandro said, this, if not inserted well, it can cause tumors that are very dangerous. But also taking in consideration that, well, basically all operations are taken with risks. So yeah, it is really controversial. It is really a variety of various point of views. I don't know what you think about that, Alejandro.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like now that I have a much clearer vision, the use of stem cells it has its pros and cons, but like it is like an alternative. But I think as embryonic stem cells can save lives, but also you're killing someone. So it's on the middle of the balance, as you're killing but saving someone. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really depends. Like, these stem cells are used to treat really deadly diseases, and yeah, they're used to save someone lives basically. But also let's talk about the alternative, the extracting method from bone marrow. This method, if I'm correctly, it needs a volunteer to be extracted from from her or his spine, which I've heard that it can cause several damages over time. For example, some disabilities, maybe like walking disabilities or permanent disabilities that will really change your life. What do you think about this alternative, Santiago?
Well, I think this alternative is very good. In fact, I have a an example of a very famous doctor that was affected by his bone marrow. He couldn't walk, and by that he was a neurosurgeon, I think, and by that he wasn't able to do any operations. Thankfully, he had an stem cells operation, and it all went well without any complications or any other risk or anything. So he is now back to work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, totally. Like, we can agree, also that, taking the considerations and pros and cons, we can say that, there are, various, safe methods to extract this type of stem cells, and I think they're worth the shot. I think that, killing fetuses is a really controversial, theme to talk, a really controversial topic. It depends on the person, whether you're killing or not a human life. But there is also this really good alternative that we talked with, Santiago here, that really makes you think about, like, you need a volunteer, which may cause permanent damage, but you can also save a human life by treating some diseases.
like I
Uh,
think that that would be depending on the on that person's will, as it it the person that would be have the extraction from would know the risks of getting paralyzed for life, and yes, it would it would
yeah,
be
I mean, yeah, that really.
a lot much fair if it is by a volunteer than just a baby.
I mean, yeah, like, that makes me ask you the question: would you get a permanent disability to save, let's say, your mom, for example, with a certain operation? Let's just say that your mom has diabetes. Would you take the risk of having a disability, a permanent disability, of maybe walking
Yeah,
to save her?
but that question is really difficult because you are not like you have not 100% sure that the operation will work on your mom, and well, the risk for you is there, so like it's very difficult whether to choose it or not. What do you
Yeah,
think, Alejandro?
Yeah, based on the actual lifestyle of my actual lifestyle, I would search for other alternatives, as basically I don't want to sound selfish, but it would be like a lot. It would mostly ruin my sports career and that stuff. So, it would be
yeah.
better if it would be, for example, from embryonic stem cells.
Yeah, I totally agree with your point of view. Yeah, like you're really taking the risk of ruining your entire, let's say, your life career or your entire life just to save this important person, yeah, it really makes you think about it. Like you have to take considerations between the pros and cons to really take this decision. So yeah, I think we can all agree that this is a really complicated topic actually. I think it can be ethical, but it cannot because considering the alternative method of volunteering and killing fetuses, and also the fact that you can get tumors when injected, and taking all these considerations, it really depends on the case or the person. Because of so many points of views, it depends on really each person. But with this conversation, I think we can all agree that based on the pros and cons, I think we can mostly agree that the use of stem cells is really ethical to treat some diseases. Are we all agreed on the same page?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do
I
agree.
agree.
In fact, I wanted to ask you, Free, a question. Since, well, you have these pros and cons, and as we now know a lot of stem cells, but we could know more. So the question
Yeah.
goes to if governments should fund the research on stem cells, because as far as I know, the United States does not fund any research, which does not make sense really, because when you research about something, you can look more up into it, and maybe like in the case of operations, you can search up if any risks are there, or any more ways to make it like more functional for everybody, and things like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
in 2001, the President George Bush banned the federal funding for embryonic stem cells, as it has been in a controversy, as we already mentioned, for the embryonic stem cells research, as they're basically killing embryos.
Yeah, I mean, back to the point of Santiago. Yeah, let's just say that the first introduction we have on stem cells is in 1981. So this is a considerable new, let's say, detailed study. As yeah, this is kind of like a new revolutionary method to treat some diseases. So yeah, the United States is actually researching. And let's just say that in a few years, maybe 20 years, 30 years, the use of stem cells will have very less risk than it has now. So yeah, like maybe now it's not a good time to take all these risks, and maybe like not having as pros as you have in cons. But in a few years, this will completely change. It will have all the way around. Like not all, not there wouldn't be as many risks as we have today, and we can use the stem cells, as we're discovering more and more, to treat some more diseases. So yeah, I think the use of stem cells is really ethical and really worth the try.
So, well, I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast. And now we're heading to our next episode about open heart surgery. So, see you there. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you for listening.